On this week's episode, we all get spy names. Micah is Agent Biker Babe. Brent is Agent You're Not the Boss of Me. And I am Agent Lair Bear. Welcome to the show tonight. It's all things Kingsman. Let's go. First of all, the thing we have to do out front, we have not done this the entire time we have had this podcast, is we have not thanked the Nerdherfers house band for that kick-ass stinger. Meet the Nerdherfers house band right there. My man Brent doing it all. Hey guys, welcome back. I am Larry Brantley, and I'm sitting here with my two besties, Micah Donahoe.
Greetings, programs.
And Brent Williams.
Oxford's not rogues.
Not rogues?
Brogues.
You'll get it.
I get it. Oh. Yeah. It's sort of a crossover X-Men reference, I think.
It's
I
not.
don't know.
It's actually from the movie.
Oh, it's from the movie.
Yep.
Okay. And along with our producer, Chris Hockenberry, behind everything, we are the Nerdherfers. We are four middle-aged guys who enjoy whiskey, cigars, and nerd shit. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Hey, if you have not joined our list yet, please go out to nerdherfers.com and hit the subscribe button. It'll let you know whenever we got a new episode dropping. We have a cool merch store out there, recently updated by Agent Biker Babe over here. And lots of fun stuff. And we've got a YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@nerdherfers. And if you've been with us for a while or you just joined, so happy to have you. We're going to be discussing some cool stuff tonight. We're going to be doing some bits. And actually, tonight's bit might get us injured. So we're just going to see how that goes. All right. Speaking of bits, there's one we like to do at the beginning of every episode, and it's called Nerd News. It is last week's Nerd News today, and we, as always, go over to the anchor booth or chair or whatever this is.
Anchor Lounge.
To the Nerdherfers house band /IT department /technical director /editor /anchor person
/ don't look at my cables.
Sorry.
Yes. Don't
see my cables.
Don't touch my nethers and don't touch my cables. That's his mantra. Yeah. Anchor person Brent Williams. Okay, what nerdy stuff you got for us today?
Well, so there's an auction coming up. It's movie memorabilia.
Oh,
and
that sounds right up your alley, sir.
The big item up for sale is the original Han Solo blaster.
Whoa, that sounds like your deal.
Yeah. The problem is...
Here we go.
is I don't have $3 million.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
I got something special for you.
Guessing, is that the reserve that has to be met? Or
no, that's what it's expected to fetch between 2.5 and 3 million.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. And some other notable things in this auction.
Do you have a replica? I'm sorry, before we leave
I do. I have several.
Okay.
I have the 70s toys.
Yeah.
The 70s toy one.
Okay.
I have every variation of that one.
Okay.
Except the original.
Except the very original.
Because he doesn't have 3
Now I'm not
million
going to bring you the one that I have.
Well, I have one that's I also have a couple.
The one you cobbled together in your garage?
Yeah.
No.
I have a couple.
It was given as a
3D
gift
printed
and it
ones
was
too.
painted.
Anyway, okay. The other thing, the George Reeves Superman costume from the '50s show.
Holy crap!
Wow.
It's going to be up for sale. The original costume. It's expected to fetch around $200K.
Wow.
Yep.
Micah's personal favorite, the Star-Lord helmet from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I know, I'm totally kidding.
It's fine.
Yeah. 75K it's expected to get. The Tin Man's Axe from The Wizard of Oz.
Ooh.
Wow.
100K.
Well,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Lowe's and buy an axe and spray paint it silver
Right.
and bring it home to my wife and say, look what I bought.
Look what I bought for you because I love you so much.
And then she's going to look at the bank notification on her phone and go, why did you spend $30?
Yeah.
And
then she's going to go, why are my hands wet with silver paint?
She's a huge Wizard of Oz fan.
And then the last one, which fits with tonight, Sean Connery's sunglasses from Thunderball.
Oh.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Bond films.
Yeah, expected to fetch $20K. So,
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Price for a
I
pair of
am
sunglasses.
so excited. I literally have, I have goosebumps. You can see them.
You do?
I can
literally
see,
have
I can
goosebumps.
see the
I'm so
hair
excited
raised
for
on
this.
your arms.
August 29th. Or no, not August 29th. September 12th.
Okay.
Which is not August 29th
It's not
in
actually
any
that.
way at all.
That's for something else. August 12th.
Wait,
no,
September
12th.
29th.
September 42nd.
Not to be confused with October 3rd.
Right.
So on January 5th,
Or December A. So, September 12th. See, I'm so excited I can't even talk.
Yeah, all right.
Spinal Tap 2 is coming out.
what?
The original cast.
Wow.
Rob Reiner directing. It's called The End Continues. They're getting together for their final goodbye show.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I cannot wait.
Same.
bet.
I'm so excited.
I watched Terry Shearer on. You ever watch Paul Schaefer Plus One?
No.
It's on Access TV.
Okay.
You see it on YouTube every once in a while. But
I know about
He had
it,
him as
but
a guest on there, and it was so funny. He was.
Those
hilarious.
guys are actually very.
He was all dressed
talented.
up, and
How
he had
much
a
of the
face.
originals are they getting back?
All of them.
All of them. So,
Yeah.
so Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, and Chris Guest.
Yep.
Wow.
And Rob Reiner directing.
And I can't remember if the actor who played their manager passed away or not.
I don't know.
So I don't know if he's going to be in the film, but I'm super excited.
I am so stoked for that.
Super excited.
Okay,
about that.
last thing.
Okay.
And Chris sent me this the other day. It's pretty funny. There was a programmer who was using Cursor. Cursor is an AI, like film art. You know what it is. ID, yeah.
But he doesn't.
Did you see how he looked right past me? For good reason.
Could you hear my gaze?
You say cursor, and I'm like, you mean like cursive?
Yeah, it
Where
moved my
someone was
eyebrow
writing in
hairs. Hold on.
cursive?
Yeah.
All right, I'm better.
But anyway, so he's developing a race car game.
Okay.
And so he was having trying to have Cursor help him, and Cursor comes back and goes, "It looks like you're trying to do the graphical effects for skid marks on tire," and it told him it's not going to give him the code. He needs to learn how to do it himself.
Wow. AI called someone a bitch.
Oh.
So I was just
Figure
like,
it
You'd
out.
really be better if
Matter of
you
fact,
just
here's
figured it
what
out.
it said. Here's what it said. I cannot generate code for you, as that would be completing your work. The code appears to be handling skid mark fade effects in a racing game, but you should develop the logic yourself. This ensures you understand the system and can maintain it properly.
Jackass. Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, so chalk
Is
one
he-
up for AI.
I was about to say, is this guy going down in history as the first guy to ever get bitch slapped by AI?
I'm telling you, I would love it if that's where AI goes. It basically just goes, I'm not going to do that for you.
yeah.
So
It's
everybody
gonna learn.
So everybody doesn't get stupid, and we all don't grow to 500 pounds and float around in chairs and have
Right.
little robots clean up our trash.
Thank
for
you,
us.
Wally.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway,
Or Idiocracy.
That's all I got.
That may have been my favorite episode ever of Nerd News. See, nerds, there's good news out there too.
That's right.
Not just sad, depressing stuff, which is most of what Brent gave us the
It
very
is
first
not.
season of the show.
Well, okay, maybe the first season.
Okay, but
I was-
he's moved on now. We're
tried
finding
super
fun
hard
stuff
not to
to
do
talk
that
about.
anymore.
All right,
All right.
all right. So we used to do this order. We used to do cigars, whiskey, and then we would get into the conversation. But we decided it would be better if we kind of move the first two around. And I believe this week it was your turn to bring us a bottle of something.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
Let's have it.
And I'm so freaking excited about this because I got to pass credit where credit is due. Our producer, Chris, has contributed to this particular bottle.
Oh.
And you'll know what I mean in a moment.
Okay. I can tell he's excited because I can. See
I have
his
been
nipples
excited
through
for
his
this for
t-shirt.
weeks.
You need to really start wearing an undershirt,
Now, the first
Michael, when you
thing-
get this excited.
Is it?
Oh yeah. You could.
Oh.
Cut, yeah, those are diamond cutters right there. It's amazing.
Okay, the first thing to notice or to note here is that what I'm about to reveal from this bag. Sorry.
Yeah,
What I'm about to reveal from this
We all went
bag
there.
is not what you can buy in the store.
It's Woodford Reserve, isn't it?
It's Woodford. No, it's not.
Okay, so you can't
Because
buy it
in the
store.
theme of this particular episode, because we are doing Kingsman,
Oh yeah.
we are doing Statesman.
Oh wow.
Okay.
That's like the real Statesman.
Here's the deal. Now, when you go and buy a bottle of Statesman from the store,
Okay.
it's in the shape of an Old Forester bottle because it's produced by Old Forester.
Yes, that I've had that.
Yep, and it came out in 2017. This one in particular, Chris and I were having a conversation about this because he was like, I just finished a bottle of Knob Creek, and I can print off these labels. And he goes ahead and he puts them on, and they look so cool.
They really do.
And I grabbed the stopper off of my Statesman bottle.
Nice.
So what I did was I also took the rest of my Statesman and poured it into this bottle,
Okay.
which is what I will forever keep my Statesman in
And
from
you
now on.
and hang on, I want to see the back of that bottle. Is that what I think it is? Yes. So cool.
I can't
Yep.
read what it says.
It says distilled in
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Now, on the show, just want to let all the real nerds out there know. I know that this particular distilled in Kentucky part is on the back of this label, which is they see through the glass, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah, we're all cool with it.
Haters gonna hate.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, pouring it.
Let's give it a little.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that was a deep resonant
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
I like that. Pass me your glass, son. I'll pass it over for you. All right. There
You called
go.
me son.
I did. I'm older than you. Everyone is son to me.
I thought you were just getting me back for calling you son one time.
I don't even remember you doing that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was not active listening, and I apologize.
They'll just look at me funny if
It's
I
okay.
said that.
It was more than 2 days ago.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Well,
Thank you,
hello.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, hello.
Vanilla.
Oh,
Lots of vanilla.
it's gonna be.
What's the proof on this, Micah?
Hold on, I'll get you all the stats in just a moment.
Okay.
Micah has to consult something other than the bottle for the stats.
Because it's not written on the
It's
bottle.
not written on the bottle. That is a pre-made. Look at
Oh
that.
my
Look
gosh.
at that. What
That
a
is
beautiful
so-
shot.
So as these nice fellas pointed out, I have an affinity to props, and this one in particular, I was going to make, but Chris offered to make it, and you know what? I think he did a
Well
Yeah,
done.
that's great.
Well done, Huck.
fantastic job.
Well done. Good heavens.
Okay. Oh yeah. No drinking for you, Micah. Get your stats. Okay. So this is Old Forester Statesman. It was released in 2017 at the exact timing of the Kingsman Golden Circle movie.
Okay.
Um, it is
We're not going to get little blue streaks.
4 years. No promises.
No, because she only did it with recreational drugs.
But
didn't do
she
it
was
with-
very upset with the alcohol industry, and she
That's
wanted to be
true.
regulated by the alcohol.
And
like
guess
alcohol
what?
surrounding-
She's dead now.
Yeah, she's
okay.
dead. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Sorry.
I mean, God, the way her cornea just rolled up in her head.
Anyway, we're
okay.
getting ahead of ourselves.
All right, so the mash bill on this bad boy is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley.
Well, okay.
It is 95 proof, and it is aged for 4 years. So that means that they probably consulted somebody ahead of time,
Yeah.
because this is a brand new release. It's not like any of Old Forester's other things.
And I've had the whole line from Old Forester.
Yeah.
And I love their whiskey.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. This is, but I love this because
Oak.
it's attached to the movie.
Because
Oak and
Definitely
pepper.
oak, but, well, I'm getting that vanilla that you were talking about
Yeah.
for sure.
did Chris not get a glass?
No, he's got one.
Little pepper on the nose.
Yeah, pepper. Pepper on the nose, pepper on the taste.
It's got a,
Yeah.
it's got a lovely little bite at the end. Just a little
Yeah.
bite at the end.
Are
Oh
you
my!
Are you guys getting some leathery,
No.
buttery, leathery?
Butter mouthfeel, yes. But hold that thought on the leather.
Oof.
Because it was my turn to bring sticks this week.
Yeah.
And let me reach back over here. So we're going back to a cigar maker that we have highlighted at least twice on this show that I'm familiar of. My old friend, Noel Rojas. Now, Noel originally comes from Cuba. And if you grow up in Cuba, the Cuban government decides at a very early age what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And Noel went, no. So he left. Ended up in Miami, eventually ended up in Texas, and has become a premier premium cigar maker. We have had on this show, we've had the street taco barbacoa. We've also had his special edition Cinco de Mayo. Tonight we are going to have one of his original blends because he is the king of the small ring gauge. And I present to you, oh my God, the Statesman.
What? You found it! Oh, you. No, wait. This is a different type of statesman, but I'm happy about
This
it.
is the real order. Thank you. Can't take me anywhere. Thank you. That
Wow.
was a really good save, Michael.
Excuse me.
Yes. So, no, this is the Rojas Statesman. This is one of his two original blends.
Wait. Statesman or statement?
Statement. Sorry, statement. I wanted it so bad to be Statesman.
It is.
It is
statesman.
It is a statement. But
I mean, that R kind of looks like a K, right, Chris?
It does.
But so Noel
Oh,
was
it smells
the
amazing.
guy who introduced me to the beauty and loveliness of the Mexican San Andres wrapper. So this is going to be his what he would consider a Toro size, because he prefers to work in small ring gauges. So this is going to be a Mexican San Andreas wrapper. It is going to be Nicaraguan binder and filler. And I will just tell you, because I've smoked everything Noel's ever rolled, there's a complexity to this cigar that sort of defies physics for me. It happens early on. The flavor profile is going to change on you between first, second, and third. I don't want to use the word drastically, but you will definitely notice a difference.
Are you in contact with him?
Yeah.
I would be interested to know if he put that division, that cut in the R for a reason. I wonder if that has a story.
I've never asked him that question, but I can absolutely find out for you.
If you can, that would be awesome. Because it feels simple and intentional.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's
the draw.
The guy's very intentional about making cigars. I'll tell you that.
Graham cracker.
Mm-hmm. Molasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys know what a junkie I am for San Andreas wrappers, so I'm already in heaven.
All right, let's just fire these up, boys, and see what happens, especially as it goes with this lovely Statesman whiskey. I'm going to get them confused for the rest of the night.
The Statesman cigar by Rojas.
I can't do that to Noel.
And the statement whiskey.
Yes, that.
Now, I've actually had one of these before.
Oh.
Because I love all things Rojas, too.
Yeah. I haven't had
and
this.
This is a yummy, yummy, yummy cigar.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, my gosh. I haven't had this before, and this is so good.
I will encourage you to take your time with it. Because if in the next 15 minutes we find Micah at the final third, then we're going to have to do a lot of vamping on this show.
Which is highly likely.
We know how he gets. All right, so now that everybody's fired it up, how are you feeling about it? What are you getting?
Brownie. Oh, such a good brownie. With my fast burning paper.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go codename Garofalo here in a minute.
Okay, now I am getting a little bit of that leather.
Uh-huh.
Still the molasses, though.
Yeah, so there is a little bit of sweet in here.
Yeah.
Also, and I don't know how Noel manages to do this in his blends, a little bit of pepper to go with it. There's just a hint of pepper.
He uses tobacco from like this very this rare tobacco, like from this northern region of Nicaragua, doesn't he? Do you have access to that?
I think it's Condiga. But yes, he does. But then he also likes to use tobacco from Ometepe, which is the volcanic island.
Right.
And
they
that
buried
soil
they buried in the ash.
so
and stuff.
rich. Yeah. So now let's do this, boys. Let's
yeah.
do this. And now I got that leather all day. Now I feel like Ernest Hemingway.
Oh. Wow, that is a pairing.
Isn't that good? So good.
You know, this is a man pairing right here.
This is a man pairing.
Man pairing.
man pairing.
So we are off and running tonight, you guys, with the Old Forester Statesman whiskey in a custom-made bottle, courtesy of our producer Chris Hockenberry, and we are smoking the Rojas Small Ring Gauge Statement, not Statesman, because Noel, I love you, and I want to call your cigars the right thing. All right, so here's what we're talking about tonight, in case you couldn't already figure it out. We're going to talk about the Kingsman trilogy of films. These are 3 movies that we all dearly love, probably for a lot of the same reasons, but I'll just give you a quick little background. The Kingsman film franchise is based on, wait for it, a comic book series
2012
of the same name that was in 2012 with Mark Miller and Dave Gibbons.
Yep.
It was released by Marvel, and it was set in the Miller World universe, which, by the way, also includes the characters from Kick-Ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, Matthew Vaughn directed it, right? And he directed
So at
Kick-Ass.
the same time, the events of the Kingsman movies are going on, not the prequel. You have the universe of Kick-Ass and Hit Girl and all that stuff going on. The first movie, The Kingsman, debuted in January 2015. That was followed by Kingsman Golden Circle, which was released in September of 2017. And then the prequel, The King's Man, releasing in December of 2021. All these films are directed by Matthew Vaughn, who you may also know from such films as Layer Cake, Kick-Ass, and X-Men First Class. One of the things that I love about the King, and we're going to get into the nuts and bolts. We're going deep in the weeds in this movie tonight, you guys.
Hell yeah.
But just as an overview, one of the things I love about Matthew Vaughn and these particular films is that he did for spy movies what Edgar Wright did for zombie movies, buddy cop movies, and alien invasion movies. He took a well-known, well-worn, sometimes overused genre of film, the spy film, and made something completely new and fresh and lovely.
And delicious.
Yeah. And so I would like to get y'all's opinion. Before we break down by film, let me get your opinion on the series in general, what you liked about it, why, and we'll start with Mike.
Okay. I am a huge fan of the way the movie is shot. So, like you just said, the show, there's 1,000 spy movies out there. There's no shortage of spy movies if that's your deal. But what this does is it takes the action sequences and it raises it by 75% with a little bit more blood and a little bit more action. There's something that they do with the camera angles where they zoom in hard and zoom out fast in different situations to get it like to really, really focus. Like when manners maketh man, and he flicks that goblet or the
beer mug.
Beer mug, thank you. When he flicks that, it hard focuses on the mug and the head of the cane, the umbrella, and then zooms out quick as it's flying out, and then traces it across, follows it, and then smack in the forehead. That camera angle as it shifts and adjusts just tickles my nipples.
The cinematography for
it's so cool.
TMI.
The cinematography was unique.
Yeah.
And definitely something that set these particular spy movies apart. I need to do a little more research as to who the guy was who choreographed all of those fight scenes. And I'm pretty sure he's somebody famous who's worked a million years. But so for you, it was the cinematography that sort of set it out. Brett, what about you?
It was a combination of the action and the dialogue. I think they were extremely well written. Just enough comedy to not be too campy.
Yeah.
But the movies didn't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
Well, no, and I think I mean you have Matthew Vaughn to thank for that because I just think that he is one of those guys who doesn't take himself too seriously. And you talked about the writing. One of the things I loved about the films, especially the first film, which by the way, who knew Samuel L. Jackson could play such a brilliant villain?
Right.
Richmond Valentine. Who? By the way, I did hear in an interview years ago that the lisp was a deliberate.
Yeah,
choice.
I was going to ask you, can you do the lisp because I practice it. I can't.
You're getting into all my nerd facts about this movie.
What the hell is everybody talking about? Yeah,
that's not.
Yo, man, what's up? Richmond Valentine.
Kinda.
So it's less a lisp and more
it's
of
more
a
Tito.
It's more of a. So, speaking of nerd facts, I happen to know someone who probably has a metric shit ton of them.
Well,
and he's right over here.
We've already gone through some of them. So we talked about it being based on the comic book. We talked about Matthew Vaughn directing, and he did X-Men. He actually turned down the next X-Men movie to do Kingsman, which was what? Which one was that?
And I really loved First Class. And then
after First Class,
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past. Yeah. Oh, I scrolled past my notes. Sorry. So did you know, Larry, that there's actually a Kingsman crossover scene with Archer?
Yes, and I've seen it.
Yeah, where he meets him outside of the Kingsman Tailors.
Not outside, inside in the special room.
Yeah,
and he's already stolen all of the spy stuff. And when Eggsy comes in busting in, he's like, "What the hell's going on?" And Archer goes, "Oh, finally some service."
Yep. Love that. Okay, the water scene, when they're in training and they're in their bedroom and the water starts coming up. So the way they did that is they had this sound set was actually lowered into a tank of water, right? Rather than the water coming up. It was computer controlled. Well, the computer glitched and it just dropped everyone 25 feet.
Oh, shoot.
And so all the fear you see on all their faces, that's all real because they just kept that in. But like the entire crew, everybody just got dunked.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh,
it was actually quite a hairy scene for.
I'm guessing that programmer lost his job that day.
I'm guessing. Call me if you need me. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the dude that dropped Alan Rickman didn't get fired, so
yeah. Well, that was the producer that did that, or the director did that.
Yeah, that was
He was holding the switch, and he's like,
One click.
Yeah. So talking about Samuel Jackson, yes, he had a stutter growing up, right? And so it actually, when he did the first take of this first line, he did it with the lisp, and they talked to him, and he said he thought that it would bring something to the character because, like most of the James Bond villains had some, like they either had a physical deformity or they had something with them, right?
Some sort of quirk.
That kind of, some sort of quirk that just kind of made them a little bit more human, right? But so he thought, and this is a brilliant, why Samuel Jackson is brilliant, is that someone that had the lisp, like he went back to his childhood when he stuttered, and people underestimated him because of his stutter. And he finally fixed his stutter when he got into acting. But he thought, if this character has a lisp, then he's not as ominous, right? People see him as basically harmless, and he's totally underestimated.
Approachable.
With the irony is he has the world in his hand, basically.
I will tell you why I think Richmond Valentine is such a great villain, because like all truly great villains, he really believes he's doing the right thing for the world.
Yeah.
We're going to call the population, and it's going to be better. So there's that great scene, in the middle of the second act, where Harry Hart, and by the way, this is such a great name, Harry Hart.
Yes,
is coming out of the church, and they have this. This is in a separate scene. They have two consecutive scenes, or two scenes, not consecutive, where they talk about old spy movies, and they pay homage to that. Vaughn pays homage to that, but then, Richmond Valentine executes Harry Hart, and then he turns his head and he goes, "Is he dead?"
Because he's about to throw up.
That tends to happen when you shoot someone in the head.
By the way,
feels good, doesn't it? He's like, "No, it feels awful."
During the church scene, my face, I don't know about yours, but after I saw the church scene for the very first time, my face was this the whole time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That scene took 7 days to shoot.
I believe it.
I
believe it.
Colin Firth
you mean they didn't like Daredevil one take it?
Right. Colin Firth actually hit the gym hard and got in fighting shape for this movie, and he did 80% of his own stunts.
I believe it.
This movie. Yeah.
I believe it. So there's
makes me like him even more.
You were talking about the humanity of the character of Valentine. Yeah. And that's the other thing. It's like, no, it feels awful to kill somebody. And she's like, you just killed everybody in that church. Like, they killed each other. So like he's having this.
I don't know. Harry had a lot of good help in there. Did he not?
But just such a great film.
Everybody was killing everybody.
Yeah, but Harry had a big hand in the death.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh! Yes,
he killed a lot of people. And by the way,
his tally was definitely greater than everyone else.
Will you ever hear Freebird the same way?
Oh my gosh! When I'm in the car, death, baby!
He's just knocking into cars, driving off the road.
Yeah, that's what I hear. And then I'm like,
turns into Death Race 2000.
Yes.
I recently watched that movie again. It's as bad as it always was, but it's so much fun.
Yeah. So one thing I just didn't quite buy, which I know it had to happen to move the plot forward, but when Valentine shoots Harry outside the church, he pulls the gun on him. Now, in every other scene when that happens to Harry, he immediately gets out of the way and hits him and strikes him and disables him and all that kind of stuff. But for some reason, with Valentine, he didn't do that.
Do you think it had anything to do with like his disorientation after being kind of taken over?
He certainly looked disoriented.
He kind of was.
But you're right. I mean, for all of the now at the same time, what was it? Not Eggsy's dad, but that Kingsman that replaced Eggsy's dad.
He
was
the
one,
new Lancelot.
When he got slashed in half. I mean, he got it from the front door.
Yeah,
he opened it up, and then the 62 Dalmore. I mean, this guy is dying here, and the first thing that pops into my head is, "Oh, don't let the 62 drop," because it's like a $500,000 bottle.
Well, he is a gentleman after all.
Yeah. But then she picks it, like he's falling down, and she just grabs the glass, and I'm like,
oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank goodness the bourbon didn't bite it.
I love what Valentine tells him when he shoots him in the head is, this ain't that kind of spy movie, which of course sets up Eggsy later on at the end of the movie.
Yeah, this ain't that kind of movie, bruv.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a good movie. So good.
So that was, we've been talking about the original Kingsman, and then of course came the sequel, The Golden Circle.
Yes.
Where we've got the continuation of the Eggsy and Harry Hart story. But we don't know that until, toward the end of the first act when they have now met up. So Eggsy and Merlin have met up with their American counterparts, the Statesman in Kentucky. although he had a small part in the movie, I absolutely loved Channing Tatum in this film.
Yeah.
I thought this was the role he was
Tequila.
born to
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, tequila.
It was so
Tequila.
cool.
And then we were also introduced to an
Oh,
actor
there you go.
who now is on every single movie or film you've ever seen. A guy named Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
He plays Agent Whiskey.
Is there Statesman in there?
That'll make you want to slap your mama right there. Yes, there is Statesman in here.
It's so great.
That is a
Okay,
prop from
now
the film.
I have to tell you, if I were going to rank these movies,
Oh, here we go.
it would be Secret Service, The Kingsman, and then Golden Circle for me.
Oh, I'm
I
excited to get into this.
I had some issues with Golden Circle. Now, Golden Circle is the movie where all the other actors go, hey, the first one was really good. Let's all do this one. As a matter of fact, you know that you have a successful first movie if Halle Berry wants to be in the sequel.
Right?
Yeah. So, because that's her thing. She does sequels.
True story.
Yeah.
John Wick.
But I mean,
Anyway.
so yeah.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that wasn't a sequel.
But so this one is just the star-studded cast, right? I mean, it's got everybody in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody's in it.
Channing Tatum.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and Juliette Moore, of course. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Right.
and Michael Gambon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dumbledore.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, he's only in there for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Dumbledore. Sorry. Old meme.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Snape.
Ron Weasley.
And we're off the wheels.
It's still one of the best ones.
No, when they walk in and he's the new Arthur, that's the first thing
Yeah.
he did. Dumbledore.
But this one was. They dug into their campy side a little more in this one for sure. You know.
Yeah.
I wonder if you feel that way because of the character of Poppy.
Poppy, yes, but okay. I will say the saving grace for this movie for me.
Take Me Home, Country Road.
No,
That was
yeah. I mean, although that was heart wrenching. No, Elton John kicking those dudes' butts at the end.
Yes.
And when Elton John goes up for the flying kick and he turns to the camera and
Yeah,
does
he's
this.
like-
Oh, and they did that kind of lens flare and the
Yeah.
sparkle, and he grins. Oh my gosh!
I was like, okay.
The only
This
thing
movie
that
was
sucked
luxury.
was his lines. Like every time
Yeah.
he delivered sorry, that was
That's what editing's for.
all right. Every time he delivered that
Yeah,
line,
thanks for giving me more
It was
work.
very forced.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't actually believe that Elton John has ever told anybody to go F themselves before.
Oh,
it
no.
just-
I guarantee you he has.
Oh, I know he has.
I 100%.
But the way he
guarantee
did it
that
in the
has
movie
happened.
kind of lends to the fact that maybe he has not.
Well, he was acting. Yeah. Oh, so, all right. So let's get into this because anytime we talk about a trilogy, we always have to rank the films. We've now heard Brent's rank. I want to go to Micah and see what he is.
2, 1, 3. So Golden Circle, Secret Service, and then the Kingsman.
And then what was that other movie?
the
Kingsman.
Kingsman?
Oh, yeah, the Kingsman.
I see you and Chris are on the same page.
All right. So,
All right, so get this. So I want to tell you, I absolutely loved the first one. Mm-hmm. I was so enamored with what I had just seen. I was so used to Colin Firth being the the sappy love story, that the stuff that my wife was watching all the time.
Mamma Mia, that kind of thing.
Whatever. I mean, he was just in one of those movies where he was.
well, Love Actually.
He was doing. Well, that's. Yeah, but I mean, he was always doing kind of sappy love.
A lot of people were pegging him for the new Hugh Grant.
And when he came in and did this,
Didn't he do
I
the
was
King's
like,
Speech?
it was yes.
Yeah.
He did, like it completely changed my perception of Colin Firth. So much so that if anybody actually knows, I don't collect a pop figure unless it really blows my mind. And I have a pop of Harry Hart.
Nice.
Okay.
And he's so cool. So I absolutely love that. But when Golden Circle came out, I kind of felt the way I did about that, like between like Lethal Weapon and Lethal Weapon 2, where Lethal Weapon 2 was just like, it was superior to 1 for me. Mm-hmm. And so it's the same thing for me on this one. And the way it went through, I kind of wish I had a little bit more Harry Hart in the second one, but it was okay that we didn't, because that was Eggsy's time to shine.
Right. Well, and plus, I mean, we didn't even think we were getting Harry back.
Yeah.
and then we got him back.
And then the King's Man, I actually did like that one. It was kind of interesting going through it because I think it was the absence of technology that kind of took some of it away from it. But Ralph Fiennes, come on.
Yeah.
And I just, Ralph Fiennes can do no wrong in my book.
Yeah.
You know, Rafe Fiennes may be able to... Rafe Fiennes.
Rafe?
Rafe is
It's
how
spelled
you pronounce
Ralph,
it.
but it's pronounced Rafe.
It is pronounced Rafe.
Oh, all right.
Rafe Fiennes.
Sorry.
May
Sorry, Rafe.
be able to do no wrong, and I would agree with you on that. But I wonder what he would think about the first third of the cigar.
Yep, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. So it's already changed for me. Now there's a little more pepper up front.
I got to tell you guys, I'm not getting much pepper at all. I'm getting like, at first it was like a milk chocolate brownie, and now it's a dark chocolate brownie. I'm just digging every second of this.
Micah just really wants a brownie.
Well, I just really love brownies. I mean, but that besides the fact, this is just, it's so toasty and kind of like, but not flavored chocolate, but just
Yeah.
But
I'm
that
not-
For real, like
cocoa.
they dug it up out of the ground.
The graham cracker for me has kind of turned into like s'mores.
Yeah, I can
yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, so that's the first third. So there's an interesting thing happening here because 2/3 of this group really liked the third movie, and I did not.
Hit it. Tell us why.
And I do believe my producer agrees with me on this one.
Oh,
Here's
he's your
the thing.
producer when he agrees with you.
Yeah, got it. He's the producer. He's the producer when he does it. Yeah.
It's your kid when he does something
He's my producer when he agrees with me. He's the producer when he goes off the rails. It just felt a bit like a reach. Oh my God, love Ray Fiennes, love Ray Fiennes. Heman Janju, however you pronounce his name, love him too. But it just felt like too much of a stretch for me. And I tried. I watched it more than once.
That's how I felt about Golden Circle.
Okay. Yeah. So, what I really, really wanted to see was a continuation of the Eggsy / Harry Hart storyline, and I have read reliable sources that say that they do have a script for another Kingsman movie that will complete the Harry Hart Eggsy storyline.
I've heard that too, but I also heard that like in somewhere in between October 2024 and December 2024 that it was shelved.
Not shelved. It's in development hell.
Oh.
So there's a difference. Shelved means we are not touching this now. Development hell means any number of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what it is to make hit movies. You make one hit movie, and then everybody wants you to do their film, right? And so there's scheduling conflicts. There's constant rewrites. There's the studio has to get involved, and there's just a lot of.
There's money to be made. And how fast can we get it done?
No one disagrees that there's a lot of money to be made. The first 3 films made a lot of money. It more has to do with just the bureaucracy of, at the end of the day, filmmaking is like any other business.
I
right?
hate that that's a thing, but I know it's a thing.
Oh no, I hate it too. And
it's a for-profit thing. It's not. They don't make movies to. Matter of fact, Village Roadshow filed bankruptcy. I don't know if you knew that.
Who did?
Village Roadshow Pictures.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, they split from Warner, and over all kinds of differences, and then they claimed that Warner kind of blocked them from making some profits off movies they had made. But they actually SAG has actually banned them. No one can work with them because they're not paying anybody. Wow. Yeah. So they finally filed. Yeah.
That is too bad.
So
they made some good films.
Speaking of which, I was just thinking about this. I had also it reminds me of what happened to Kick-Ass 3 because in regards to the money and how it makes. I heard, and I don't know if this is true because this is just like an explosion on the internet, but I had heard that that Kick-Ass 2 was the most pirated movie of all time.
Was it really?
Yeah, and then so when that happened. There were articles that were coming out from the different actors saying like we really want to do Kick-Ass 3 to finish it because that's the last comic. But we can't because everybody pirated it and we didn't make any money off of it. So now we can't make a third one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. And it again, it's in the Millerverse. So it's that storyline is happening concurrently with the events of the modern day Kingsman, not the King's Man. Here's a question I have for you guys. prior to Kingsman, how old were you when you watched your first spy movie, and what was your favorite spy movie? He's got an answer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Brent's thinking, so Micah, let's hear it.
I hate to sound so generic, but I've been in love with James Bond and
Of
those
course,
films
yes.
since I was a little kid. I was probably about, I want to say I was probably about 11, and it was Timothy Dalton.
Oh. Not License to Kill.
Yeah, I think it might have
Was
been.
it License to
I think
Kill?
it really was.
That
And
was
then-
his first turn as Bond, I believe.
Yeah, and so once I immediately, so I had this. It's so cool. I had this mom and pop video rental place across the street from my apartment, and this guy. This is a place where I like rented all of my VHSs and all of my Nintendo, my NES games, and this guy was so cool because he would get this like crazy amount of movie posters, and then he was like, just go through them. They're all on the table. To just go ahead and take. And so I would just go and filter through them. I got Back to the Future 2, 3. I got all these James Bond films. I mean, I just tons and tons of posters. And when I found the very first one that I had ever seen, I was just over the moon. So James Bond for me.
But specifically James Bond License to Kill.
That was the first one I saw. And then I went back and I tried to see as much of them as I possibly could, well out of order. And then my lovely wife bought me that Blu-ray collection that came, it was like everything except for Spectre.
Oh, wow.
And at the very end of it, it actually had a little slot in the back of it that was blank for Spectre. And I thought, you know what, packaging people, that is extremely considerate of you.
Well done, you.
So I was able to take Spectre out of the case and put it into that slot. And then, of course, they released, Bond's death.
So was License to Kill your favorite Bond film?
No.
What was your favorite Bond film?
Well, okay, so how do you do this without actually like choosing a specific Bond? Like if we're talking about Daniel Craig, then it's
I'm just asking
definitely-
about your favorite Bond film.
Oh God, so
Here we go again.
I'm gonna go all Brent on you on this one. I mean, I'm gonna have
And
like
not
sweats,
give me an actual answer?
cold
Yeah.
sweats. No, I'll do this quick. So Pierce
right.
Brosnan, GoldenEye, Daniel Craig, Skyfall.
Okay. Timothy Dalton License to Kill.
Yes, and then probably for Sean. Gosh, this is a really freaking hard one.
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
It was really good, but
Yeah.
but God, maybe Diamonds.
Diamonds Are Forever.
Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay.
But I mean, you have to take that with a grain of salt too, because after you watched all of them back to back, you're really just watching the same movie over and over again.
Well, yeah.
All right. Same question.
Okay. Mine actually is not a movie. It's a TV show.
Okay. Man from Uncle.
Nope.
No.
No. When I was a kid, and this is probably second or third grade, we would walk home from school because you could do that back then. It was like a mile from the school to our house. We were latchkey kids.
But it was uphill both ways. So,
yeah, in the snow.
Yep.
But I used to watch the show called Lancelot Link Secret Ship.
I don't know what that is.
You've never seen it? It's from the 60s, and these are trained chimps that they're dressed up as spies. It's basically a take on Get Smart, but with chimps.
What the F?
Yeah, you got to look it up. It's on YouTube.
What the what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lancelot Link Secret Chimp.
Yep. And all the chimps are sitting there going, and then they dub the voices over them, right?
They fed him peanut butter.
Yeah.
Oh my
But they're all
gosh.
dressed up like spies, and there's the female spy and the Lancelot Link, and yeah, I mean, and then the old curmudgeon-y boss chimp. And
I have no response to that.
you got to watch it. It's great stuff.
I've never even heard of it.
Now
I
the
never
first
heard
the
that.
first Bond movie I was ever introduced to was Moonraker. Roger Moore.
Yes.
Jaws.
Yes.
Oh, Richard. Come on, what's his last name?
Couldn't tell you.
Damn it.
Hatch.
No.
Oh.
Jenkins.
Feathersborough.
Schneidenberg.
Yeah.
But hold on one second. There was a Bond movie. So after Sean Connery, there was a Bond movie that was made with a new guy, and I don't know his name, but I just remember one point in the movie, he looks at the camera and he goes, "This never happened to the other guys."
I don't remember that, but
Yeah.
awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
Connery wasn't the first Bond.
Well, he wasn't.
No.
Who was the first Bond?
Go in the 60s
No,
and
it
look
was
for a
one
film
person.
called On Her Majesty's Secret
Yes.
Service.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I am sorry that I cannot at this moment remember that actor's name.
Yeah.
But
Producer's going to look it up for us.
But Connery,
his phone's been flying. His phone's on fire over there. He's just been
He's looking up so much stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I do not need to go through all of the actors who played Bond because I have a favorite Bond film of all time.
Get it.
And it is Live and Let Die.
Oh, yes. I love that one, too.
It is all the sexiness in New Orleans, and there's voodoo involved, and Jaws is there. I mean, it's just like, it was just everything for me. Right after that one would probably be Thunderball.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I grew up in the era of Roger Moore.
Yeah.
And so, like, he was the first Bond I ever saw.
Yeah, he was the 80s
I
Bond.
loved him too.
Yeah.
As I got older, I got into the
awesome.
Connery stuff. Honestly, I swear to you, I think the thing about the Connery era was, in the 80s, I saw this wonderful film that we all love called Highlander.
Yes.
Yep.
But
We
every
couldn't be
time
bothered to do the
Scottish
accent.
Spaniard.
every single scene, I'm a Spaniard.
The Scottish Spaniard?
No, you're not. No, you're not, Sean.
Well, that's Sean
stop.
Connery.
Just stop.
Whatever ethnicity or whatever that Sean Connery's playing, it's always with the Scottish accent.
Yeah.
He's like, he couldn't be bothered to
And
do
by
the
the way,
accent.
Sean
I
Connery.
can teach you guys right now how to do a perfect Sean Connery. You only need to be able to say one word. Are you ready?
Ready.
Buttocks.
Buttocks.
There you go. Yeah.
Now we are professionals.
Now we are
right.
professional
Wait.
Sean Connery impersonators.
That sounds
Are
kind
we
of like
Sean
Bane.
Connery or Bane? I was just thinking the same thing.
No, that would be.
Now we are professional Connery impersonators.
Sean Connery is Bane with a mic filter.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
I'm going to like superimpose some rails
yeah.
above us.
Get in the
Train
van.
coming up. Yeah.
Get in the van.
Oh, man. That was good.
Okay, so as to my opening statement, when I said Oxford's not rogues, so when Harry Hart is taking Eggsy for the first time in the back room of the tailor and he's showing him
Yes.
the shoes,
To get his cherry
right,
popped.
and he says, these are Oxfords, and the ones with the broguing on them are the wingtips, right?
Yeah.
The broguing. And that was the phrase he had to say to get in was Oxford's not brogues, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now in The King's Man, Ralph Fiennes is playing Duke of Oxford, right?
Okay.
And so his son, there's a scene where his son asks him a question, and he looks at his son and goes, "We're Oxfords, not rogues."
Okay. Thank
okay.
you. I was total. I will admit.
100% missed that.
Yeah.
I will admit that I haven't seen The King's Man as much as I have the first two.
Yeah, same.
But appreciated.
That,
Can I show you
that's
guys
a-
something?
It's a good call there.
Can I show you something really cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
As long as your shirt stays on.
because it doesn't come with my you want to see me because it doesn't actually work with the outfit. I had to show you something. So there's a scene in when
Which movie?
Harry Secret Service.
Okay.
There's a scene where they're at the tailor and Samuel L. Jackson's character comes out.
Yep.
And Harry Hart says Ascot requires top hat.
Yeah.
May I suggest
Lock and Co.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Lock and Co. St. James. All right. So middle 2000s. I'm doing a presentation for Nokia in London for my work. And I have 6 hours before I've got to get together with clients and do the client thing and everything. But I got 6 hours and I can't go to sleep because jet lag and all that
Right.
kind of stuff. And I start just walking the streets and I come across
Lock and Co.
Lock and Co.
Wow.
Wow.
That's very cool.
on
Yeah.
St. James. So
Yeah.
when he said that, I was in the movie theater and I was like, that sounds really familiar. And so I was so excited. And then I was back at my house because I totally forgot about the moment. And I ran into the bedroom and I saw my hat and I was like, because I needed to buy a hat from Lock & Co. I mean,
Yeah.
Lock & Co. is older than our country.
They're hatters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they opened in the 1600s.
They are hatters.
So anyway, I had to show you guys this. It is so beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous?
It's actually a very nice,
It's
very
like
nice.
So
one of my favorite hats.
the tailor shop where they shot the inside scenes, that's a place called Huntsman.
Yeah.
Is it on Seville Row?
It is. That's an actual shop. And they actually have the little Kingsman logo in the bottom left corner of the window when you walk in.
Oh,
And you can
okay.
actually
Like
buy
in real life?
You can actually buy Kingsman suits.
Oh, of course, because
Yeah.
why wouldn't you capitalize on that?
Idea coming up. I'm going to have our producer look into this. I think we need to do an off-site podcast, and I think it needs to be on Savile Row, and I think it needs to be at the Kingsman Tailors, and I think we all need to get Kingsman suits,
Definitely.
and we will document our experience and present it to the world.
But we have to get our cherries popped in fitting room 3.
Yes. By the way, the very first Bond, and he did 2 films.
The second one, it was 1969. It was when Sean said he was going to retire. They did one more.
It was George Lazenby. Yeah.
And then Sean came back after he did it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm retired. Not really. I changed my mind. I'll take the rapist for 300.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I was like, I'm sure that we're not.
Therapists.
I'm sure we're not going to bring that up. No, we're bringing that up.
No, we're totally
S-words.
bringing it up. We're totally bringing it up. Okay,
That's I'm sorry. That's one of the best SNL skits ever.
you're 100% right.
Take S words for 200. Swords.
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about the possibility, because it has been out there now, that there's going to be another Kingsman movie.
Yes.
This is a question that Micah loves to ask us, so I'm now going to ask you.
Okay.
What would you like to see in a third Kingsman film? Ooh. Meaning the Harry Hart, Iggsy, Unwin,
Okay. I have a question. So in Golden Circle, Eggsy marries the princess.
Yes.
correct, Princess Tildy.
And the reason he didn't want to get married was because he
High
didn't want
profile.
to be a public figure. So I would wonder if the third movie would have something to do with that. Like either they split up for whatever reason, and he goes back into secret, or he's still struggling with being a spy and being married, or trying to be a spy and still be high profile or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I think that would throw an interesting twist into him.
I think it would be too, but don't you think that feels a little bit overplayed? It reminds me of like
It's like Batman. It's like Bruce Wayne and Batman, right?
It is any situation where somebody has really cool gifts and they're deprived of them.
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, the first episode of, and I know this is kind of a taboo Marvel thing, but the first episode of Marvel Inhumans, Medusa gets her hair cut off. I'm sorry, that's her whole superpower.
Yeah.
So now she doesn't have it? Okay. And this is one of the things that while I love the Daredevil storyline, the comic book nerd in me is like, will you just get in the red suit already?
Yeah.
And that part just starts like grating on me because I want to see some of that action.
Yeah.
Watch episode 4.
Oh, well, I'm getting there. I just
got to watch that tonight.
Yeah,
I
me
missed
too.
it last night. I
Watch
totally
episode
forgot. I was
4.
busy.
But my point is that like there's so many like conflicts that destroy the dynamic. Like for instance, in Golden Circle, I was a huge fan of where everything was going with Golden Circle, and then we have a hack, and then we have missiles that destroy everything that was Kingsman.
Yep.
Now I know that you could say that that Kingsman is a people, not a place. As
Well, they killed almost all the people.
they did. And it's like, I was like, all this really cool stuff. And yes, they're going to have to rebuild. But what would be awesome is if in a fourth one, if they were to do something that showed the rebuilding of Kingsman and
There you
show
go.
where the new Scotch distillery is.
There you
Well,
go.
interesting.
There you go. There
interesting
you
little
go.
thing. There you go. Interesting little thing. So in The King's Man, when Ray Fiennes' son goes to war and they want to call him back, he switches places with that guy.
Yes.
And that guy is who's playing that character?
Oh, frick. I've got like
I
Matt Damon
honestly
stuck
don't
in my
know.
head, but I know
What's
that's
his
Saving
name?
Private Ryan.
Anthony Taylor Thomas.
Oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor
Oh,
Johnson. thank you.
yeah.
There's all these three name actors anymore. I can't keep them all straight.
Right.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson Smith, the second,
Yeah,
third.
he needs to stop playing Marvel characters.
Well,
Esquire.
hold on. So anyway, so he comes up and he shows up at the house and whatever. Well, he becomes the first Lancelot too at the end of the movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm very intrigued by what you said. In fact, so much so that I think we should get our producer to hack Matthew Vaughn's private email address and
Get on that, Chris.
Well,
and have you submit that as a pitch.
so the potential name, actually, maybe we should expand this conversation based on what the potential name was for the show that I read was called The Blue Bloods. So in regards to the English and what I think I know of Blue Bloods, and it's like definition, but what direction could the show go in under that title?
Well, see, the whole thing for me is Harry Hart was the guy who said to Michael Caine, "There's a reason aristocrats developed weak chins." So I think that Iggsy represents not the Blue Bloods,
Right.
right? So the whole thing is, let's get away from that. But I do love the idea of Kingsman completely relocates to a distillery in Scotland. Iggsy is responsible for rebuilding the Kingsman. And by the way, we still don't know definitively that Lancelot was killed in the second film. We saw her yell and run away. We don't know for certain that she was killed. It is entirely possible they
She'd
could bring
have to
Sophie Cook
Quicksilver
back.
that shit.
She would have
Yeah.
to.
I mean,
but it's
that
entirely
house
but look,
blew up.
there's a reason they do these kinds of things in
Yeah.
movies, right?
Sure.
And so, like, we could totally, and I would love to see Sophie Cook. I really hated the fact that they killed her off.
Okay. I really think that if they were to do this, Harry Hart becomes Arthur.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
For sure.
It makes
100%.
sense?
For sure.
Yes.
And Eggsy maintains Galahad, and then they go through rebuilding, maybe even to bring back some of the tools that failed the first Kingsman
Well,
test.
okay, so this is one of the issues I had with Golden Circle. So, so when Galahad gets shot, when Harry gets shot, and then the Statesmen show up in their helicopter and they put that gel thing around him,
Yeah.
and they literally show his head, like an X-ray of his head, and there's a hole all the way through his head that goes out the back.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, come on, I mean.
Hey,
It was
there's
too
this
far
little
for
thing
you?
that we call suspension of disbelief.
I know, but that was
No,
asking a
You
lot.
like
As a-
Star Wars.
Now, as a
Yeah.
technologist,
Well, that could happen.
I want to appreciate what you're saying, because as a technologist, I mean, you can
Well,
go
as a person who studied biology,
and you can go so far, but then
Yeah.
but reach further past it. Maybe it inched too far past that
well,
series of beliefs.
so what would make me mad if I was a social justice warrior is the Kingsmen have this technology to regrow people's brains, and they haven't
And they're
shared
not
it with the
sharing
world.
it with
Come
anybody.
on,
Yeah. And that's the Statesman, by the way, not the Kingsman that had that
that's true. Yeah,
technology.
the Statesman. Yeah,
there is
And
only
that's very American, by the way.
it is. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
There's
No,
only-
it's ours.
They're probably
Can't
owned
have
by
it.
United Healthcare. They're owned by United Healthcare, so they won't release it.
there was only one little thing about Golden Circle that kind of made me go, "Eh." But the rest of it I absolutely loved. They made this big statement about the Kingsmen going into the booze business, right? But the very end of it, Tequila makes a transfer to England, and he's
At
a
the tailor
bowler
shop.
at a tailor shop.
At the tailor shop.
And his boots, his bowler and boots.
Yep.
So he gets back. He actually
Well, he
goes-
becomes I'm sorry. Does he become the new Lancelot?
They didn't say. They didn't label him.
They didn't label it, but they kind of telegraphed it.
Yeah.
That he was now going to work for Kingsman.
Well, but
Yeah, but there's so many other
No,
knights
the
in the
reason
round
I'm saying
table.
that is because at every scene where Lancelot is, like Galahad's here, right, and then Lancelot's right here, and that's where Channing Tatum was sitting, was right there on the left hand side. Somewhere
could be. I
there's
don't
the
know
notes.
if they were that specific about it. But can we talk about the second third of this?
Well, I'm not quite there yet. I'm
there.
taking my time.
I'm
Yeah.
there.
Mike is almost there.
No, am I?
No, we're about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there.
Hey, I'm behaving this show.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks,
buddy.
Dad.
Yeah.
I've got to get on this. I'm just enjoying it too much.
So good. But I'm able to baby it and still kind of enjoy it. I wonder if it has something. You know what, guys? I think it has something to do with the construction. There's something about how wonderfully constructed this cigar is. It is so fine. I don't even see where it could break if it wanted to break.
Right.
And it's like it's got an amazing draw, but it's firm to the point where it's not actually burning fast. And you guys know I double pump.
Yeah.
So
My
No,
wrapper, my cap's coming off just a smidge, but that's my fault because I did a
What?
Cuban cut on it. So
Oh.
I cut it a little too far, but
I don't. Was
wanna
it?
get
Were
that
you getting
angle.
excited and like?
It's called a
chewing on it.
decapitation. Decap.
See what you did there.
Sicilian necktie.
All right, second, third.
Well,
I don't know, man. This
I'm
is
getting
just,
a lot of cocoa and earth.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna practice my smoke rings.
I'm with you, Larry. It's cocoa and earth. It's so
It's comfortable.
it is.
It's comfortable.
And I think that a lot of people steer away from darker cigars because they're afraid of the intensity, right? It's going to be too potent, too strong,
This is a medium plus intensity
Yeah.
at best.
which is not this cigar, is I guess what I was going to
Yeah,
say.
absolutely. You're absolutely right. This is not
That's
a
a,
full-bodied cigar. It's got full body in terms of flavor,
I do have a question.
but not in terms of intensity.
So one of the nice things that I know that I can see about this cigar is that the sheen on the outside is almost like it's been treated with something.
It has not.
But and I believe you.
It's just Mexican San Andreas. It's just oily.
But it's just
I mean,
oily
that's
and beautiful.
that's a common misunderstanding about cigars. Is people think that the darker the cigar, the stronger it is, and that is not true. Yeah, it has to do totally with flavor profiles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Oh man. So we should definitely talk about the Mandalorian guy whose name is
Pedro
Pascal. We got to talk about how
Agent Whiskey.
I got to tell you. So watching how in the first movie how the Kingsmen conducted their acrobatics and martial arts so perfectly, so well orchestrated, almost like it was planned choreography. Okay, and it's so cool. But you see, Harry Hart. Well, he's a little deficient at the moment, and Eggsy are tag teaming Agent Tequila,
Right.
and he puts them.
No. Agent Whiskey.
Wait. Starting from the
Oh,
first.
no,
one.
that was Merlin.
No, hold on. So when they're trying to break into the facility the very first time,
Yeah.
they're confronted by Agent Tequila,
Correct.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Harry Hart. That's what I'm saying. It was Merlin.
Merlin, my apologies.
Merlin and Eggsy, yeah.
So Merlin and Eggsy try to take on Tequila. Tequila subdues them perfectly. All right. Then we fast forward to Harry Hart and Eggsy tag teaming, and by this point, Harry Hart has got his faculties back. You can
coordination
see where
back,
it's
yeah.
all kicked.
By the
in.
way, I love the scene in the bar where he tries to do that. Manners maketh man, and he locks the door.
Yes,
and
and
he
he
looks
misses.
at
that
beer
was
mug
good.
and it goes way offside. What?
But Harry is back in the saddle.
Yeah.
And Eggsy's like at the top of his game right now, and they're taking on Agent Whiskey. And he is fending off. And what kind of training are the Statesmen getting that the Kingsmen are not?
That's right. That's right.
Well, lasso training. for one.
Electric lasso. got
Electric
it.
Lasso,
Yeah.
which, by the way, is the new name of my emo rock band.
Nice. And what about that Harry Hart scene where he's taking the lasso off his neck in slow-mo?
Yeah, just barely getting it off in time. Yeah,
And then he goes, shh. Oh,
Yeah. And by
so
the way,
cool.
Matthew Vaughn is an absolute genius at picking music for his scenes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because the hillbilly bluegrass version of "Word Up" by Cameo
have you had
will never be equaled, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think that song could be cool, but all I can see is that scene in my head. And I'm like, they could have just played Cotton Eye Joe and I would have been happy.
You're so right about the cinematography, though, because the way that Matthew Vaughn shoots those action sequences, it's just very, very different. And it is a little, and I think this was on purpose, comic booky,
Yeah.
because he loves Mark Miller.
Yes.
And who doesn't? Maybe non-nerds or terrorists, I don't know. But they it was a choice. It was a cinematic choice to make it just a little otherworldly and comic booky, but it plays so well and it moves so seamlessly, and then Whiskey ends up in the meat grinder, which is just awesome.
Not just that, but he gets lifted and then Harry does a push.
Oh, yeah,
it's a joint.
It's a
awesome
1-2
effort.
It's a 1-2 to get him into the grinder.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
But man, I Golden Circle was a great film. I still think my favorite is the first one, just because it was the first one. It was new, and it was. Look, I'm a jaded old cinephile. I have seen it all. I've watched it all. But when someone like Matt Vaughn can come along and take a genre that we all know what to expect and just turn it on its head and make it a fresh new thing. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And I wish there were more directors like him working today.
All right. Well, let's talk briefly about The King's Man,
Okay.
because I know it's not your favorite.
It's not.
I really, really liked it because the one thing about this movie versus the others is you are right. Less technology, obviously a little bit less action until the end. But there you see the cost of it, why it got started, what it took to start it. Because we've seen so many movies. We're all just, what am I trying to say?
I think I know what you're trying to say, and I'm going to say it. There's a scene early on in the first Kingsman, the Secret Service, where Harry brings Iggsy to the Kingsman facility for the first time, the training facility. And he is explaining to them, or to him, actually this begins when they're going down the elevator. He's expositing on the history of the Kingsmen. Mm-hmm. And then he continues to do so. And in The King's Man, they bring that forward. They pay that off. Yep. So I will give them full marks for paying that off. For paying off, this is what the cost was, and this is what the decision was.
All right. Well, also the actor that played Rasputin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who that is?
Ethan Rise.
He was in Game of Thrones.
Yep.
He also
Amazing Spider-Man.
He was
the lizard.
The lizard guy. And also he was the Welsh guy in Notting Hill.
He was in Notting Hill.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
The
you
Welsh
are the
roommate.
most beautiful girl in the world. And then he turns around. I'm not allowed to say that word on television.
That's impressive. Also, I think historically he really looked like Rasputin.
He really did. Now, one thing I did like about
His growl.
well, no, yeah.
Oh my
the
gosh,
throats
that
of-
growl when
No.
he's like spinning around. I'm like,
No, I was going to say the way he danced. I mean, the way he fought. It was like dancing.
yes.
Right?
Russian
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah, it was so cool. I love
Yes.
that. I love how they brought that in there.
We're getting on into this episode, boys. I think it
We
might
are.
be time for another segment of the show.
Oh, is it time?
Everybody strap in because it's time for...
It's the greatest joke in the world.
How about it for that house band, you guys? Oh, my God. They're so good. So good. This is the segment of the show called The Greatest Joke in the World. Here's how it works. The three of us are going to go 3 rounds of dad jokes. The idea is to get one or everyone to laugh at the joke. He who laughs must drink.
Oh, you
Must
wanna show
pay
them-
the
you wanna
price.
show them what we're drinking?
Micah, would you be so
And
kind?
we need to explain to people what this is and
Yes.
how it came about.
All right, so this is important, and I would like the world to know that this is not indicative of the Heaven Hill that we had in one of our very first episodes.
yep.
That was absolutely magical. But Brent went out of town and said, I need me some Heaven Hill. And the lady's like, oh, I got that. And she sure presented the Heaven Hill quality house.
It's,
And if you've never had this, it's effing swill.
I think it retails for $5 a bottle.
It was $9.99. Thank
Holy
you.
There you go.
shnikes.
There you go. Okay. So, we like to say that it's all relative, that, what you like is what you like. But if you like that,
You're no longer our
just
friends.
don't, unsubscribe
Yeah,
right
just
now.
just leave.
Because holy crap. This is straight up rocket fuel.
I don't know if we can afford that.
That was just straight up.
Oh, fun note! I just got back from DC. I bought a bottle of hot sauce called that was Carolina Reaper. It's called Jet Fuel.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Nice.
Try that.
Yeah, so this is rocket fuel that was distilled in a dirty diaper. So
Nasty.
here's where we go. Everybody's got their jokes ready.
Mm-hmm.
Brent looks like he's ready to go, so
Get
I'm going
it,
to have
Brent.
you start with us.
How many dead bodies does it take to change a light bulb?
Wait, I know this.
Don't say it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Now it's ruined.
Wait, was that the joke?
How is that?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you it's not 6 because my closet's still dark.
What?
Can we say that again?
Yes,
yeah,
please.
Yeah, would you repeat
How many dead bodies does it take to change a light bulb?
How
Okay.
many?
Well, not 6, because my closet is still dark.
Oh, I'm dumb.
Let me say it this way. Not 6, because my basement is still dark. Never mind.
Larry, I'm stupid, man.
Got 6 dead bodies in his basement.
Yeah. There's 6 dead bodies in my closet.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, okay.
right.
All right.
Okay.
You may have overachieved on that one. From the intelligence level, these are dad jokes. They're dad jokes.
Yeah.
All right. No braining. I get it.
Micah?
Sorry, man.
Do I have to do a shot just because that was so bad?
No.
I almost feel like you should.
No.
All right.
No.
Micah vetoed
A
me.
shot is laugh worthy.
All right.
Okay. All right. I went into a pet store to buy a talking parrot. All right. The shop owner said he had one, but it had a real foul mouth. Okay. That wasn't the joke. I got it home.
No. All right.
I got it home and I asked Polly, want a cracker? Kiss my ass. Polly, want a cracker? Get bent. So I grabbed that and I threw him in the freezer. And about 10 minutes went by and I opened the freezer door and I grabbed the and I said, Polly, want a cracker? And he goes, what did the turkey do?
You should have stopped while you were ahead, because he laughed at the first part. And on that note,
Dude,
Micah, would you like to do the honors?
Yeah.
Honors is a
I
broad
love that since
term.
I love that.
well, I don't
that
want to. I don't want. Okay, that's your shot glass.
Since I'll get you yours.
On this side, that's mine. It must be my shot glass.
I think it's actually kind of wonderful that we're christening this. Since you actually paid for it. Oh, and you pay for it.
In so many more ways. Oh, let me just pass
I-
that.
I have-
I feel like I should be wearing lead gloves.
I already have. You know that feeling you get at the back of your throat on your jaw when you think you're about to hurl.
Yeah.
I've already got that feeling.
Yeah. No, it's good. Come on, you can do this. You can do this. I believe in you.
What if I shake so hard I spill it all?
He'll pour you another one.
I have to tell you, this is 10 times worse than the Rocktown.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man.
This is what you
1,
drink at
2,
the end
3,
of the
go.
night after you're wasted.
The sound you're hearing is Brent's sphincter tightening. You did great, buddy. So proud of you.
He's still dying. Oh my days.
Oh, my days.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my days.
I'm not laughing anymore ever at anything. The rest
Just
of
so
my life.
everybody knows, the show's about to get really boring.
Yep.
Can be worse than my first show. Jeez.
I have a step ladder at my house because I never knew my real ladder. Got him. I picked that
And
joke.
I've heard that one
picked
before.
that joke just for you, buddy, because we have a shared sort of backstory, and I picked that one just for you.
I'll own that one. I'll own that one.
I respect a man who's willing to just take his punishment like that. Let's just go. Just throw it back, buddy.
You poured less in yours than mine.
Oh my God! No, he did not.
There you go.
Oh man!
There you go.
That's actually more
Fair.
than you poured for
Fair.
Brent.
That's
Fair.
fair right there.
Rocket. Let's go, buddy. And
Just so you guys know, this is what you drink at the end of the night when you are so hammered you
that
just don't know left from right.
It doesn't
If
matter.
they served it at
Oh
Denny's,
shit! I'm spilling.
if they served it at Denny's, it would.
Oh no!
Woo! Oh. Good stuff.
Oh,
Maybe we should stop while we're ahead, boys.
Oh. My eyes are actually watering.
Whose turn is it? It's your turn again.
Oof.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully this one goes better.
Can you see straight?
Hopefully this one goes better.
Okay.
Well, I haven't talked to my wife in 7 years. I don't want to interrupt her.
That joke plays so much better with non-married people. Oh, Micah? Micah? Okay.
I'm not doing 2 shots in a row.
No,
That's
Mike-
really good.
All right. Well, hey, you just talked about your wife. I recently asked my wife if I was the only one she'd ever slept with. And she said yes. The rest were like 7s and 8s.
That's a crack.
Holy forking shirt balls.
That's a crack. There was a sound that came out. That's a crack.
I'm going to ask our producer, was that a crack? You're saying no?
Thank you, Chris.
Man, okay. All right.
All right.
All right, I'll give it to you.
All right, so
I'm going to go easy. Since you just did a shot, I'll go easy.
Yeah, what I poured for Brent
That was a shot and
less
a
than
half.
what I did, so
That's a shot and a
my
half. Peter.
snort, my little sniff snort
All right.
covers the little edge that I added.
Yeah.
I love how we make up new rules every time we play
We have
this
to.
game.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
All right, Micah. It's
All
up
right,
to you.
I have a construction joke, but I'm still working on it.
I feel like you've done that one.
No, but it's very similar to his.
I did something
I
similar.
had a time travel joke,
Yes.
but you guys didn't get it.
Okay.
It's very
but you
similar
guys
to
didn't
that.
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotcha.
it's very similar to that one.
That one
okay.
took me a minute.
round 3.
Okay. Well, my mom once told me that one man's trash is another man's treasure. Turns out I'm adopted.
Oh,
I believe our producer now has to take a shot.
Yup.
Because yeah, absolutely, that to you.
You're
Yeah.
You're.
Yeah. Let Micah pour. He's so good at it. Oh.
All right, brother.
You know what I love about Micah is how generous he is.
Welcome to the club.
Watch this.
I told you snifter. I give you credit.
You did. Watch your cord.
We all know the Heimlich here, so it'll be okay.
We need a producer cam. We can just shoot over there once in
Yeah,
a
we
while.
can do that like a college game day where they have the side cam for an analyst guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be just like a locked
goes,
off
here
shot.
goes.
Come on, here we go.
You can do it. Just
Come on,
all
buddy,
at once.
just throw it. Woo! Come on, swallow.
Oh god, it didn't go down. I literally swallowed it. Came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to try it twice. Good for you. Good for you. Well done.
All right. What a round this has been, and we've got one more joke to go. Brent.
That was my third.
That was your third? Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Oh, I guess it's my turn now. Okay. Hey guys. Hang on, Brent's busy. I see how you try to distract yourself.
No, I'm
from the
listening. Go
joke.
ahead.
No. I bought a chicken and an egg on Amazon. I'll let you know.
That's good. I'm not going to laugh, but
I know.
that's
I knew
good.
that was going to kind of fall flat.
Yeah.
The egg was more expensive.
Probably. Micah?
All right. My landlord wants to discuss my high heating bills. I said, my door's always open. Come on.
No, you know
Damn.
what? No. Here. Look, this is how much I love you guys. That was a funny joke. I'm very good at controlling myself, but that was a funny joke, and because it was a funny joke, give me a shot of that
All right.
shit. Get my shot glass. It's in front of the Statesman. I was literally the only one this round who hadn't had to do a shot.
All right. He
right.
gave you half a
And
shot.
I just
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like
He's being nice to you.
we need to
No,
do
it's
this.
not nice. I feel like if you didn't laugh. I feel like if you didn't laugh, it.
God. Wow. That is so bad.
Yep.
That is so bad.
You know, when I bought that bottle, she handed me a pair of keys, and I was like, "What's this?" And she goes, "That's for your trailer out back."
We're not drinking anymore.
Yeah. Could we put that bottle back underneath so people don't get the wrong idea?
Hells yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, that's gonna do it for this week's episode of.
It's the greatest joke in the world.
And on that happy note, that's me screaming, by the way. Probably because I just had a shot of the shit I just had. I'm going to wash my mouth out.
Oh, you know what? That's a fantastic
great idea, right?
Yep.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Oh,
good.
you're, okay, we're all good? Everybody's good? All right, okay. By the way, our producer has a coffee mug that he's drinking out of tonight that says on it, probably whiskey.
You know, I have a tumbler that says this might be rum.
I have a coffee cup my wife made for me that says this might be Jack.
Nice.
She made it for you?
Was that a
Why,
time
it's
when
so
were you
cool.
actually drinking Jack on a regular basis?
Not
The
on a
answer is
regular
yes.
basis. Not on
Not on a regular basis.
a regular basis, but yeah.
Define regular.
Yeah.
Well, I remember
my
at the
gosh.
time that I bought that tumbler, I was like huge rum.
Mm-hmm.
Love me some rum.
Oh my gosh. Do you guys have anything else to add to our discussion of the Kingsman movies?
Well, I mean, if you want to spend an hour or two ragging on Golden Circle,
Okay, the last thing I have is that I'm really glad that Poppy didn't fight.
yeah, that would have been too much. That would
Yeah.
have been way too
Yeah.
far.
I like that once
Yeah.
we got to the BBEG that it was just done.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and
I am glad that Elton John fought.
Yes.
Yes.
And I also love it whenever Harry is in the bowling alley and that dog is just about to get him, and then all of a sudden you see Elton John's face in the camera.
Rocket Man. Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
So
There were
good.
so many brilliant moments.
I want to be a statesman. I mean, I'm wearing everything
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
except for the hat, and I did consider bringing one, but I didn't.
So, would you be the new Agent Whiskey, or would you have a different?
Oh, come on, guys, Agent Bourbon. Come on.
Yeah.
But bourbon is whiskey. That's my point.
I'm specific, baby.
It's a type of
Well,
whiskey.
but like the Statesmen all had like generic, like Agent Tequila, champagne, but everybody who knows better called me Champ.
There was Agent Moonshine, which he was an agent that got whacked in the bar.
Wait, what?
Manners maketh man in the bar scene,
Yeah,
and he goes, "Suck my southern."
that was not an agent.
That was Agent Moonshine?
Yeah.
I thought it was just a local hick.
He was a local hick.
Well, I don't know about that because Whiskey called him. You know, that's not a very nice way to treat our people. Our guests, Moonshine.
Yeah, but he could have just been calling him a
Yeah,
name.
he's calling him Moonshine, calling him a hick. Is what
He
he's calling
could
him.
have, but
Yeah.
the fact that Moonshine is a liquor and Whiskey is.
But look at
tequila
how
is-
the guy was dressed. The guy was not a Statesman agent.
I totally agree with you. I'm just saying that it just
Okay,
he got a name.
Okay,
gotcha.
let's try to day player. All right.
I think Chris has a word.
I'm Agent Bourbon.
Yeah. So what Chris was saying was Elton John was in Golden Circle because they had started Rocket Man,
The
Rocket Man
biopic
movie,
Rocket
the
Man.
biopic, and
Yeah.
Taron Egerton was playing Elton John. So that's pretty cool.
He did
I
a
love how Juliette Moore
magnificent
explains how
job.
she got him, though. She said when Valentine
Oh,
was
yeah.
kidnapping everyone, she took advantage of it.
Yeah,
and
it'd be a
grabbed-
shame to waste the opportunity.
Yeah.
nicked
I
Elton
thought it
John.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good.
And a much better artist to kidnap than Iggy Azalea. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. We've been talking about the Kingsman movies tonight,
Yes.
you guys. We had a lovely Old Forester Statesman whiskey, handmade bottle by our producer. It looks very authentic, you guys. It's very
so
cool.
pretty.
Very nice.
And it will always be on my shelf.
Special thanks to Noel Rojas because we've been smoking that Statement cigar and it's so very
So
good.
good.
Thank you, Noel. Please keep doing what you're doing. Hey, we would love for you to be a part of Nerd Herfer Nation. All you have to do is go out to nerdherfers.com and hit that subscribe button. Anywhere you get your podcast, hit the like button. That helps us. It helps us connect to you. Go to our YouTube channels, youtube.com/@nerdherfers, and subscribe to that channel as well, because who doesn't want to see three middle-aged guys getting drunk and smoking cigars?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Check out all our new merch.
Yes, and definitely check out all the new merch, including what Brent and I saw the other night. You can get a Nerdherfers thong.
Yeah,
Did
Yes!
you know that?
I have questions.
Did you
so
know
awesome.
that?
I have questions for you, Micah.
No, it's awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Chris holds up notes on his phone in like 300-point type during the show. Old Forester Distillery is where Golden Circle scenes were shot.
Nice.
Of course it is.
When they went to Statesman, it was the Old Forester Distillery. That's
Yep.
pretty cool. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. For those of you who've been with us from the beginning, for those of you who are just joining, thank you guys so much for being along for the ride.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
What are we talking about next week?
Let me think. Oh, I know. Next week, we're going to have a conversation that's it's probably going to be pretty funny.
Yeah.
So there are TV shows that we all loved as kids that we know for a fact did not hold up well. And that's what we're going to talk about next week. I can't wait to see which shows these guys are going to pick. I have a feeling there might be a little overlap in there somewhere. But that's what we're going to talk about next week. TV shows we loved as kids that did not hold up at all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Larry Brantley. That is Micah Donahoe.
Manners maketh man.
And that is Brent Williams.
Oxford's not brogues.
And just reminding you always, keep it cool, keep it clean, and a gentleman's name should only appear in the papers 3 times. When he is born, when he weds, and when he dies. And if you're not a gentleman, I can't help you. I don't know. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next week. Bye-bye. This has been a production of Nerdherfers. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. No portion of this broadcast may be used without permission. Please visit nerdherfers.com for more information and full legal disclaimer.